I just watched the Big Boss Man episode of Darkside of the Ring, and it was a really good episode, bro. Shout out to Vice for putting these episodes on YouTube because I'm loving the series. So let me talk about Big Boss Man a little bit. Big Boss Man was definitely one of the wrestlers that I was watching when I first got into wrestling. I want to say I got into wrestling when I was like 3 or 4, bro. So had to be around 1990 or 91, you know. And one thing I want to talk about is who his gimmicks before he even came to WWE. You know, seeing his big Bubba Rogers gimmick, that was a badass gimmick, bro. And honestly, I didn't know that there was any spots back in the day of wrestlers getting hit over the head with a chair and it not affecting them. So seeing that he did that spot in the 80s or whenever that was impressive, bro, because I'm like, damn, I didn't think they was doing that type of shit yet. You know what I'm saying? Jim Cornette. I didn't even know Jim Cornette was paired with the dude. So that's one reason why I like Dark Side of the Ring, because I be learning shit about wrestlers that I used to watch that I had no clue of, bro. Even though I thought I knew everything. You know what I'm saying? His heel run was got something in my fucking eye right there. His heel run was dope. But I was a big fan of his babyface run too. And I do remember him having a pretty big profile. Like, I remember his beef with Nails. You know what I'm saying? I was reminded of his beef with the Mountie. I was a fan of the Mountie too. Like, I liked his character, bro. I thought he was a real fucking Canadian guard back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Jacques. I think that was Jacques. He did a great job with his gimmick, and him and the Big Boss Man was dope. He was wearing the red. This fucking mic ain't even on, bro, so we just gonna drop it. Hey, I'm still learning. We gonna keep this shit on the fly. But anyway, or maybe I should just turn the mic on. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and cop you a DJI mic and make sure you turn it on when you're shooting your videos. I'm keeping all this shit, by the way. Anyway, the Mountie was dope. The Mountie was rocking the red. Big Boss Man was rocking the blue, and it just matched. They both had the yellow stripe on the pants, so it really did feel like it was two different, you know, law enforcement divisions or zones or realms going at it with each other. One thing I did laugh at is I always thought the buzzing coming from the nightstick, from the Mountie's nightstick, was funny, because, you know, that's just being played on the speakers, and that was a funny thing. But enough about that. Even when he had his face turned and he started teaming up with Hogan, like, that shit was dope. And but his attitude era, bro, the Big Boss Man's attitude era will not be forgotten about. And it's crazy that they say he's only known for feeding Pepper to Al Snow and the cemetery scene with Big Show. It's crazy that people say he's only known for that, because I knew him for more than that. You know what I'm saying? His spot in the Attitude Era was solid, and there's some Attitude Era heroes that don't get enough love, and Big Boss Man is one of them. Somebody pointed out, you know, him just leaving and having the correctional officer uniform, and then coming back and having the SWAT tactical gear. That was a tight, like, evolution when you talk about visions. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Big Boss Man evolved. Not only that, he was able to adjust to being in the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? This dude was on the roster back in the heart of the golden era. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be able to adapt to a newer, edgier era, getting the mix with Stone Cold, you know what I'm saying, Undertaker, Gangrel, you know, all these people that was in the Attitude Era at the time, that's impressive, bro. I mean, he was able to adapt. So, and I know they also touched on the hanging scene when Undertaker hung Big Boss Man. I remember the moment I watched that live, and yeah, that was trippy. And I don't think anything's gonna change about that, because I remember as a kid, I was like, how did they play that off, bro? I'm not thinking about harness being hooked on and shit like that. Because what I saw was his neck get put in the noose and the cage get raised up, and bro went from fighting for his life to being lifeless. So yeah, looking back at that and seeing Vince Russo speak on it, it does make me wonder how that was able to be on TV even back in the day, bro. That was pretty extreme. But other than that, I want to say his daughter is absolutely adorable. It sucks that she lost her best friend, bro. I felt her pain, and you could tell she really loved him, man. I remember seeing her when I watched his induction in the Hall of Fame, and yeah, she definitely had a lot of passion for him, and you could tell that she loved him. You could tell the whole family loved him. But yeah, man, like I said, the Big Bubba Rogers gimmick, that was dope. That was badass, and he was big. He was way bigger than I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he had gotten that big. But shout out to Ray Traylor. Rest in peace to Ray Traylor. I enjoyed his time in WWE. I enjoyed watching him, and hey, he had a pretty decent life. Of course, he suffered from addiction and other things, which is unfortunate. Sorry for the family for having to go through that, but hey, good solid episode right there, man. Those are my thoughts on it. If you enjoyed this episode and you made it this far in the video, go ahead and give it a like, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. I might start doing this and just speaking on all the Dark Side of the Ring episodes I watched, because it's pretty epic. It's a nice ride. Peace.